Hey, gang, and welcome to Songwriting 101, another episode of Songwriting 101. This is not a songwriting course from a professional songwriter. It's just a guy who loves writing songs. And if you don't believe me, watch my disclaimer, which I think I can put into something up here or whatever. The song that I wanted to look at today is another track from this album that I'm working on, Forthcoming. When I wrote this song, it was something that I did, again, very organically, just exploring ideas. And I can't say that I remember exactly how it all came to be. But we'll go through the song and see what happened. What ended up sort of coming out was a song in an album that's full of me saying the word love in songs. I wrote a song here which doesn't say the word love. It is a breakup song, but I feel like you really get that these people love each other, even if they do have to break up. So it's a very sweet breakup song. This is a song that I opened with the chorus. So why did I start with the chorus? Because it's a beautiful chorus. I only play it twice in the song. And it kind of leads into the whole concept of the song, which I can explore then through the verses. I open with this unsettling chord, which I'm calling D minor with a B bass. It might be something else in other people's minds, but I love this sound. It's just opening with something that's unresolved, and then going into a C, kind of. And then another unresolved chord. I can't get into the theory because I don't know it. There might be somebody that'll be like, oh, that's what he was doing there. Whatever. She said there's something on my mind, but I don't know how to tell you. Something on my mind, but I just don't know how to tell you. Looking in her eyes, I think I already knew. She said there's something I can't hide, but I just don't know how to tell you. I'm falling out. The impact and the emotion of this song is, of course, important. All it is, well, all songs are emotional, but so the delivery of this, in my mind, would be just like that, just very simple, but we have these just interesting, like this. I love that sound of that chord. To play it like that simply and to sing the lyric delicately, we know this is an intimate moment, and it's, get close, it's dark. She said there's something on my mind, but I don't know how to tell you. Insecure, right? Something on my mind, but I just don't know how to tell you. You can tell it's the chorus. I keep repeating things. I like subtle changes. You're not saying the same thing over and over again. You're subtly changing it, either melodically or lyrically. She said there's something on my mind, I just don't know, but I don't know how to tell you. There's something on my mind, but I just don't know. That also rhythm within lyrics, and to think about that in something like this, which is a very soft, slow song, to add something through your consonants, which is rhythmic. It's so important in songwriting while you're writing songs to understand, and I think that like pop music, when people are writing hooks, they understand this better than anyone else. I'm adding like a ba-da-da-da-da She said there's something on my mind, but I don't know how to tell you. Something on my mind, but I just don't know how to tell you. Like, that might be a hook, I'm not sure, but, and then changing it, looking in her eyes, I think I already knew. We've all been there, you know? She said there's something I can't hide, but I just don't know how to tell you. I'm falling out. I like this chorus where, again, there's something on my mind, I just don't know how to tell you, is repeated 3 times with variation. Looking in her eyes, I think I already knew. Like, oh no. And we've all, again, we've been there. Writing something that is relatable. I don't think everything you write needs to be relatable. Obviously, I wrote a song about having an affair with a mermaid, but it even then there was something relatable. But not only that, sometimes it should be revelatory, something that reveals something that you maybe that you don't relate to, but you're like, oh man, I get that. In this case, it's very much should be relatable. You know, you're there and you know you're just about to be hung, or your head is about to be chopped off or heart ripped out. You can see it. You know what their behavior is leading up to it. This chorus is all just there to say where we are. You know what's happening, she says, and then the punch is, I'm falling out of love. You can fill in that blank. And then we go into our verse 1. And as she fell back out, I went deeper plunging into a painful abyss. Very dramatic. That might be too dramatic. Let me know in the comments if you think that that's a painful abyss. But I like this line. Into a painful abyss. Less a fall, more a tailspin. So there's 2 different versions of falling going on here, which is kind of an interesting wordplay thing. She's falling back out. When you're in love, you fall into love. Well, she's falling back out of love. And then I am falling deeper, almost like. And it almost feels like that, right? Like I love you, but then when love is taken away from you, you're like, I love you more, I think. Because you feel things, you're like, no, like this, I didn't realize I'm almost throwing up. I didn't realize that I loved you that much. And that's the tailspin thing. And it is a painful abyss, even if that's a bit of an over-the-top dramatic line. By the way, I do really like these slash chords. And I use them a lot in this song. And that's just when you play a different note in the bass. We're used to in the bass, you play a C in the bass. In this case, I'm doing different root notes for a lot of the chords. So when she fell back, C is normal. I do this little gospel-y D minor to C move, just add some color to it. It's not that important. She fell back out. I went deeper. And then an F with a G. That's not an attractive chord, but again, it gives you something to resolve to. So it's nice. And as she fell back out, I went deeper plunging. Anyway, so then we go to, I said, but I don't want to lose you. She said, I didn't say you're going to. So, again, notice that there's a difference in delivery on all these sections. I don't like to take too much time doing the same thing. I know I did that in the chorus in this song, where it's like I'm in the same place, but then and she fell back out. we get a new ba 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 ba. And then I don't wanna lose you. Ooh, now we're singing in our falsetto. It's a lot higher. It's a totally different delivery. And also, let's go back to the chorus. We're setting the scene, right? She said this, and I think we're setting the scene. In verse 1, this is after she says, I'm falling out. Oh my goodness. I'm describing how I'm feeling. Falling deeper, tailspin. And then all of a sudden we're here in the moment again, and it's very delicate. She said, I don't want to lose you. This is now, like, again, in the moment, not in my head. We're talking. She said, I didn't say you're going to. And then, yeah, but I know the truth. We don't just meet in the middle. All my holds have come loose. The path you're walking is stable. So don't lie to me, babe. Don't you lie to yourself, dear. Don't you lie to your friend. You will lose me forever. There are 2 stanzas there. When I wrote that, when I went to jam it, my drummer was like, I think it was my drummer, was like, you don't need the second stanza. It might have been my bass player. But it's like, you don't need the second one in there. It's a little bit long. And so we took it out. It's scribbled out on this piece of paper. But then I felt that I did need that. Maybe for impact, but also for the movement of the song. And it came off of this, I don't want to lose you. Should I didn't say, yeah, but I know the truth. We don't just meet in the middle. All my holds have come loose. The path you're walking is stable. I didn't want to go right back to, because the next section is, I said, I really thought I didn't want to go right back to that. I wanted to dig in a little bit more to the aggressive part. There's a bit of the sadness there. There's a bit of anger. It's a little bit intense. And when I wrote the second stanza, I wish I had the lyrics for you, but I remember that I wrote it a lot like, don't lie to me, babe. I softened all these lines. Don't lie to me, babe. Don't lie to yourself, dear. You don't lie to your friend. You will lose me forever. That was a lot harder, a lot more dramatic, a lot more intense, how I originally wrote it. And a friend of mine was like, it's almost mean. It's kind of aggressive. And I was like, that's true. So I softened it. And I wish, again, I could tell you how it was versus how it is now, because that would be more illuminating. But just talking it out, just so you're aware that sometimes you'll write something and you'll say, you might go, that isn't necessary. I don't need to be that mean. And I also was like, yeah, let's keep this loving energy or vibe happening between these people. So he's angry. Don't lie to me, babe. And don't you lie to yourself, dear. You will lose. Don't you lie to your friend. So I'm keeping the language of like love, friendship, but you will lose me forever. This happens, right? I said, and then again, this is in his mind, in how I think of it, kind of his thing. And then we go back to the dialogue, which is happening in the moment. I said, I really thought I had you. She said, I really thought you did too. So what I'm showing in this is using musical ideas to separate moments in time. It's fun. It's an interesting sort of thing where you already have slightly different feels. So why don't you give sort of a different, you're in a different time in that moment. So you can go back and forth between different things. And there's a power to that. It's almost like, you know, in a movie where you jump around in the timeline, or you jump from, you know, these people having a conversation to these people having a conversation, or in this case, it's more like internal, external, and his anger, which is internalized, and sadness entirely, and then the external sort of sweet, almost soft moment that they're having, and it is soft because he goes, I thought I had you, and she goes, I really thought you did too. It's not, there's no animosity there. It's like, I wish that you did, kind of thing. Maybe I should change it to, I really wished you did too. I really thought you did too. I really thought. Consistency. She said, I really thought you did too. And then we go back into the chorus, but this time I like to deliver it with a little bit more movement. She said, there's something on my mind, but I don't know how to tell you. And something on my mind, but I just don't know how to tell you. Looking in her eyes, I think there's somebody new. Just change that line just ever so slightly. I think I already knew. I think there's somebody new. It gives you an extra, like, you know, I think I already knew. I think there's somebody new. Like, that sucks even more. She said, there's something I can't hide, but I just don't know how to tell you. I'm falling out. And then I have this little musical break, which I really like. It also leads us into the little bridge part, which is just accentuates this intimacy. And that's why I sing it way too high. We sat so close, not sure how long. She said it's the right thing, but it feels entirely wrong. And I don't know what I'll do when times got crazy. I always looked to you, but now you've turned away. So it's just this just precious moment, but you're realizing what you're losing. And I mean, these are the conversations you have in a breakup. It's nothing revolutionary, but I don't know, it just is true, I think. And so it's just written from a place of truth. Now you've turned away. And that's an impact line. And then we can't just go back. There's no reason to repeat the chorus because we just did that and we get that. I also can't go turned away and then go, and then I want to sing this again. It would just be like smashing you in the face. We have this moment. We have to hang out in that moment. And I also wanted to, like, I'm at this point building this just beautiful sort of intimate thing between the two of them. And all I'm doing is just like continuing on with that. So now you've turned away. I mean, you can't see the lyrics written out, but some of the stuff is in quotes and some of it isn't. The only thing that's being said here is it's the right thing. She said it's the right thing. Any other thing that's happening, and this is just in my writing of it, but it's good to be aware of this stuff as you're writing, to be like, what am I actually doing? If you're completely like, I don't know, it just was like sounded good. Yeah, okay, cool. But like, what is the narrative? What's the dialogue portion? What are you describing? She said, I just want to hold you, help you with the pain you're falling through. That's also dramatic. Shoot. But you're all out of time. So now that she said that, I feel like I can hit you. I just want to help you through the pain you're falling through. Yeah, but you're all out of time. Redemption won't come that easy. You want to slowly unbind. Oh, but please just release me. So the idea there is also kind of what happens in breakups, and especially when there's so much love like there is in this case. The idea is like, I can be there for you, I can help, I can still be a friend, I can hold you close. This way I don't feel like I'm losing you, but I'm free. It's best case scenario. This guy's saying, no, you can't. And I know that there's something redemptive about being able to stick around and help me through this, and that's why you want to slowly unbind. But you've got to just let me go, because I need to just like clean cut and have some healing time. Sometimes the friendship can come back later, but anyway. And then she, again, just as in her loving way, or wherever she is at, she says, so he goes, but please just release me. And then I slow this down. She said, I never meant to hurt you, and I'm terrified to leave too. So she just really, it's just, there's just a balance of sadness between both of them, and love between both of them, and loss between both of them. It's a breakup song. That's what's happening. But in my mind, the goal of some of these lines is to show how much they still do love each other, both of them, even if she's leaving him. And I hope I was successful. You can let me know in the comments if you think that I was a successful. So then I have a musical break. I did write a last part, which was with the same bridge music. I don't even really want to play it. I'm not really proud of those lyrics. But when I brought it to the band, they were like, I don't think it's necessary. Get rid of it. And I said, okay. So it's not part of the song. I'm not going to play it. But after she goes, I'm terrified to leave too, we go into this musical break, which is just the chorus, the verse. Whatever, that it just ends on that, which is fairly unresolved. You want to resolve on the C, but I leave it unresolved. But at one point we were jamming, and I said to my bass player Ari, I was like, we go into this music like we just end off on, she's like, I didn't mean to hurt you, and I'm terrified to leave too, and it's just like, which, by the way, leave to probably isn't the right kind of emphasis on the syllable, as I mentioned in the Mermaid song. But I was like, what am I doing with that? And sometimes you're going to write songs and you're not going to necessarily have a intellectual reason for doing a particular thing. And that was the case here. I was just like, what's the point? He was like, well, it seems like it's like just a life goes on thing. Like, you go, like it just moves along. And I was like, oh, that's a nice reason. I didn't write it with that. In my mind, I was doing a musical break, and then I was going to come into that extra bridge. The bridge went away, the musical break stayed, and we ended with that. It's just unresolved, and which is how you feel after a breakup. But feels like the natural ending to the song. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Songwriting 101, where I break down a song that I've written to hopefully illuminate and inspire and get you jazzed about songwriting. Hopefully this worked. Continue the conversation in the comments. I'll gladly weigh in on whatever. If you have any questions about anything that you saw here, let's talk about songwriting, and we'll see you next week.